This week's Piltch Point with Avram Piltch is proudly powered by PureVPN. The best way to protect your privacy online is with PureVPN. You can hide your online activities, say goodbye to regional restrictions, and improve your streaming quality. Plus, it's available for almost all of your devices. You can get a special price with a 31-day money-back guarantee by going to pilchpoint.live/PureVPN. All right, so you teased it at the top of the show that you've got something to show off today that I'm very excited about. What have you got?
All right, so a little bit of a introduction. As we all know, protective masks are a big part of our lives. No matter how you feel about them, they are required in many places. And many people want a mask want a better quality mask to give them either more features or better protection or something. So there's been not a ton of innovation going on but there's been a few smart masks that have been developed, and this is the latest one. And the reason that I'm covering it, even though I'm not a med tech person, is because it's from Razer. Now, Razer, R-A-Z-E-R, you may recognize as one of the world's leading peripheral vendors. They make keyboards, they make mice, they also make laptops, they make quite a few things, and now they make a mask. This mask. This is the Razer Zephyr. This is a mask that has a number of really interesting features on it. I'll go over the features and I'll put it on because I don't know if this will affect your ability to hear me when I put it on. So first of all, I've worn this for a little bit, not a long period of time. My colleague, Andrew Friedman, did a full review of this, which you can find on Tom's Hardware. He had some real mixed feelings about it, but let's talk about it first. So it's $99, which is not terrible for something that's a reusable product, although it has 3 filters in it that you need to buy from Razer, and you can buy them in little packs like this. I think it's like $10, and each of these filters lasts for 3 days. So you definitely would, if you were using this every day, you would probably, be spending $20, $30 a month on filters. So the mask has a few really neat features that you don't see elsewhere. First of all, you'll notice the front is clear. That means that you can see someone's lips through it. So they can, all these issues that people have with not being able to read lips, not seeing somebody's facial expression, this solves for that. It also has two fans. So these side pieces here have fans under them, and this is where the filters come in. You change the filters, which are underneath here. There's like a magnetic thing holding in place, and so these are the intake, and this is the outtake, and this also has a little filter under it. And the idea is that the fans bring cool air in, so it should make it a bit more comfortable than a lot of other masks. It also has RGB. So there are lights on each of these rings here that you can control with an app over Bluetooth, as you control the fans over Bluetooth. And there's also light inside. If you turn it around, you can see inside it's a little bit like one of those things that if you've ever used a CPAP or like an oxygen mask at the hospital or something, it's got this kind of rubber stuff. Now, I have to say, this can really dig into your top of your nose, even though it is very soft. I think it's like silicone. And we obviously haven't tested this for long periods of time to see if this is going to last for months or years, or you're going to have to be able to replace a piece or something. Originally, when this was shown at CES last year, it had a really fancy band in the back. They decided to cut the cost of this, and so it just uses pretty cheap elastic system where it just goes here and there, which is not as cool as the prototypes that they showed. It also does not have some special disinfectant thing like the original prototype that they showed had like a, you'd put it and it would have like ultraviolet light or something you put on it to disinfect. This does not have that. But it is pretty neat. Now you'll see it. Now let me try it on for you. And but before I do that, let me fire up the app because there's an app, and I will show you the Razer Zephyr app. Why is it not? Why is it not? Oh, it's under Z for Zephyr. Okay, not R for Razer. So, got to turn on. Supposedly, this gets about 8 hours of battery life. Although, let's see. Is it in pairing mode? We don't want it in pairing mode. No, it's coming on. All right. Let's see. Reconnecting. Can you see?
Yep.
Reconnecting. Okay, it's connected. So you can see there's not a lot of options, right? There's, maybe you can't see easily on the camera. There's the fan speed high or low. We'll put it on low to start. There's a fan speed high or low, and then there's the internal lighting and external lighting settings, which you can control either. There's only a few effects. You can have a solid, you can have a breathing, a static, which is just a solid color, or spectrum, and that's the extent of it. And then you can have the same thing for the internal light.
It's interesting how similar the UI for that is to the UI for the Monster Luminescence stuff.
Really? So, yeah, okay.
Almost identical.
I won't hear you for a second because I'm going to try to put this on, and I'll try to put the headphones on after I put it on. So give me a sec. You can witness me putting it on.
This will be interesting. I'm excited about this.
Part of the hands-on. So
and part of the mystique. All right. So
there's two straps here, and this one goes on first in the back, under your ear, and then there's this one. This one goes behind you, and there's like a little drawstring that you see. A drawstring you use to tighten. And let's try with the headphones. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. And it sounds.
How muffled do I sound?
It sounds less like a McDonald's drive-thru than I was expecting.
Now this is on the low fan speed. I will try on the high fan speed just to see how much noisier it is. Okay, can you hear the higher fan speed?
Not even a little bit.
You definitely could hear it here. Now,
there it is. Well, your microphone is doing some noise cancellation on you.
Yes.
It's doing I hear it a little bit now. I pushed my earbuds in a little bit more, and now I can hear it a little bit if I'm listening for it.
Now the internal what actually is probably smarter would be that you turn off the light, and you probably get longer battery life if you turn off the lighting. So it smells a little rubbery in here, but it's I don't like how it's pushing up my glasses a bit, but that's a problem, I guess, with a lot of masks. I could kind of pull it down a little bit. Looking at the sides, it feels like they're pretty secure. I mean, I don't like the adjustment thing because it's all this drawstring. It's like a drawstring bag almost. The biggest problem with this, I have to say, is the peripheral vision. So it's heavy, a little heavy, not very heavy, but very heavy compared to a regular mask. And the peripheral vision of looking down in front of you, if you want to look down, you gotta move your head. You can't because this is sticking out, so it's gonna block your downward peripheral vision. So I'm not sure. I wish I could make it a little brighter because the lights, I think it needs to be dark for you to really see the RGB effect. But the question is, why would you buy this? So, I mean, in theory, having these fans would make it easier to breathe. However, I have to say, I'm not really feeling it. You know, I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty good for breathing, but I don't know if it is significantly better than my regular mask.
Okay.
Um, Now, I should say that I don't use a cloth mask. For my daily driver, I use what's called a KF94 mask, and the KF94 mask is from Korea, and it's kind of a box shape, and so it gives you a space sort of like this does, but not bulbous like this. And so, like, I get decent airflow in that, and I think that actually before I had tried this on, I thought, oh man, this might look geeky, but it might be make me comfortable wearing a mask all day. And I have to say, it's like more of a weight on my face, and the air flow, even on the high speed, is not. It's not like a fan is coming in. The other thing that's really, really, really important to note. Now, I mean, one thing that this has, I wish every mask had, is the clear business, but I don't know how easy
Hmm.
is it to see my lips.
Um,
Maybe I need the internal lighting on again. Let's
I was gonna say,
turn
so
the
it
internal lighting on.
it does
There it
appear.
is.
There we go. Okay, so now I can see. I'm getting a little reflection of the monitor, um,
Hmm.
which is creating a little bit of like a one way mirror.
Hmm.
But no, generally I can see your lips even through the camera and with the one way mirror thing happening.
Just
So
for a second here, just for edification, let me turn off the light and see if can you see the
yes,
RGBs any better?
oh yeah, significantly better. When it goes to a dark
Yeah.
color like it is now, it's a little washed, but the blue is real clear. Whatever it is now is not. The yellow or white that it's on right now is pretty clear. Whatever it's on now is not. So it's going between a light color and a dark color. And when it goes to the dark color, it's completely gone in the camera. But I would imagine in person
Yeah.
it's probably a little stronger than dealing with auto adjusting lights and all the weird stuff that cameras do.
So what I don't like, and I haven't used this a ton before today, although my colleague wore it for hours, so he really is there's kind of a rubbery feel and smell inside. And I mean, with any mask you have the issue of, you get sweaty in there and smell it or whatever. But I just had this on for a couple of minutes, and I don't know. I guess the rubbery thing here has a little rubbery smell. Perhaps the most important thing though is we don't know how well this protects you.
Right.
Um, that actually is the most important thing. Hold on a second. I'm gonna take this off so we can look at it a little closer again.
Okay. I would like to point out for our viewers and listeners that my favorite
So
takeaway from what Avram just said was when he first put it on, he said, and I quote, "It smells a little rubbery in here." And I actually
yeah,
laughed
so
out loud.
yeah, because
that
you have because it's like this, you have this rubbery substance here, and it's pressed against your face, unlike say a paper substance or whatever. So and it's so the thing though is we what we don't know about this for sure is we don't know how safe it is. Razer makes no claims. They actually call it a wearable air purifier, but but let's be for real here. Nobody wears a mask because they're worried about like having a nicer set of air or like pollen. They wear a mask because they either are worried about COVID or they're required to wear a mask because of COVID, but they don't wear a mask for any reason except for COVID. So to call something a wearable air purifier is, it's kind of a CYA move. Like, well, we haven't had this tested. We can't guarantee anything. Use at your own risk. Now, at the same time, it's probably more effective than a cloth mask. But these filters, and I'll show you a filter up close. These filters are quote unquote N95 style. But what does that really mean? Well, first of all, we could go back and talk for a second about what the N95 is, because I was just explaining this to my 9-year-old over bedtime. These are the bedtime conversations we have. N95 is certified by NIOSH as being able to basically keep out 95% of tiny particles, which would include germs. Now, this is N95 style. It's not certified as anything. And what we also don't know, besides the filter, is what about the areas around the filter? Can stuff get in through? Oops, see, the filter fell right out. There's the fan underneath. Can stuff get through here? Can germs get through? What about the sides? What about the top? Sure, the filter may or may not be 95% effective, but we don't care about the filter. We care about the mask, right? Also, when you have a fan pulling air in, it actually needs to be better, not worse, because now you're testing the filtration more, because you're actually pulling more in. So what I have here, I will show briefly if I can pull one out. One of my daily driver masks. So this here is a KF94 mask, and there are a couple websites you can buy these from. One is called Be Healthy USA, and one is called Collecta, KOLLECT, or ECTE, and these are Korean. So N95 is America's standard, KN95 is China's standard, and KF94 is Korea's standard. Now, if you get them from a reputable seller, which Amazon, the various sellers on Amazon are not necessarily reputable and maybe selling you a ripoff, these are supposed to be really, really good. There's a guy on YouTube named Aaron Collins, you can look him up, who actually is an aerosol scientist that tests these, and he's tested them trying to shoot particles through them, whatever, and found that he has a spreadsheet online that you can look at, and this brand that I have here, Botan, is 99.1% or something effective at preventing particles from coming through. So, but Razer doesn't make any claims like that at all, and no one has tested this that we know of. I actually wrote to Mr. Collins and I asked him, hey, if I sent you one of these, could you test it with your aerosol stuff? And he said, I'd love to know how it works, but I'm too busy right now. So, so we don't know. But
that's a shame.
My recommendation to folks would be, if you're concerned about safety and I think and comfort, actually don't get one of these. It's a cool idea, especially the fact that people can see your lips through it, which is something that we haven't seen on too many other products. But instead, I would recommend for folks who really care about their mask, and this isn't really a high-tech recommendation, that they get a disposable, high-quality mask like a KF94 or a KN95 from a reputable seller. And these actually are more comfortable than cloth masks because they give you some breathing space in front of your face. And they don't have fans sucking things in, and they don't use any electricity, but they give you a lot better peripheral vision than this thing. And the cost of these is about $1 a mask if you buy them in bulk. So I bought 100 of these for $100. And, you wear it for a day and you throw it away. And, that adds up over time. But if you're worried about your safety, then a cloth mask is about 50% effective. A surgical mask is maybe 70 to 80% effective. And these are, over 95% effective, often according to these tests, 99% effective at blocking particles coming into you. So anyway, long story short, I applaud Razer for the effort here, but without showing us the actual safety of the mask. I mean, again, maybe you're one who is less concerned about safety and more concerned about comfort, but I have to tell you, it's not even that comfortable. Like, it's probably more comfortable than a cloth mask initially, until you've had it sitting on your face for a while and weighing you down. But I actually found that these no fan or whatever are actually more comfortable, better breathing, um, more kind of space in front of your face. I think the number one thing that you can do to have a comfortable mask is have one that is kind of box shaped, so it provides some space in front of your nose and isn't pressed up right against your nose. Um, but I do want to encourage companies to come out to innovate, because even after the mask mandates are over, there will be people who will want to wear a mask. And if you have been to various countries in Asia, as I've been to Taiwan many times, there were long before there was COVID, there were people wearing masks everywhere they went. And I used to hear, oh, they're wearing masks because if you're sick, you're supposed to wear a mask. It would be rude if you were coughing and sneezing. But you know, even if you're wearing a low quality mask, that protects other people, and that's great. But if you wear a high quality mask, you can also protect yourself from other folks. And I think even after COVID becomes less of an issue and we go back to, I guess, some semblance of normalcy, if I'm going to the store, I'll probably still want to put on one of these, because you know what? Uh, who wants to get sick? Whether it's COVID or the flu or whatever the next pandemic is, um, there's I think masks are going to continue to be things that people want, both in the United States and elsewhere. And so there's going to continue to be a need for innovation. And I'm curious about some of the other innovations we've seen. There's a company called Microclimate Air that makes one. I'd love to try this. It's like $300 and it looks like an astronaut helmet over your face. But again, the heavier they get, the more you have bulkiness and limits your peripheral vision.
It's always an interesting topic, especially for myself talking with somebody in some other states, because here, I don't know, I can't, other than during Roboticon, I can't tell you the last time I saw somebody out and about wearing a mask.
Well, I'm in New York. Just to remind our audience, I'm in New York here, where they take the mask stuff very seriously, and I'm cool with that, because you know, frankly, we still have a lot of people around here who have it, and I don't want to be bringing it home to my kids who are not vaccinated yet. So, um, you know, I so people are, obviously, there's various levels of mask discipline. I ride the Long Island Railroad every day, and I'd say about 90% of people are wearing masks, but like there's still 10% who are not. And all it takes is one of those people to have COVID and breathe in the air that you're breathing in, and you could get sick. So, obviously, I'm a big fan of protect yourself, protect your family. Uh, Obviously, there's risk everywhere, and you've got to decide what level of risk you're comfortable with. Um, when you have a higher quality mask, it's easier to go places, and even if you're the only one wearing a mask, if it's a good quality mask, then you are still protecting yourself, not as much as if everybody was wearing a mask, but you're still protecting yourself. If you're wearing a cheap cloth mask, then you're mostly protecting other people from you. But if you're wearing a high efficiency mask, then you're also protecting yourself. This is supposed touts itself as being N95 quality, but without any testing or any real assurances. They don't actually doubt the mask as being N95 quality. I should say they tout the filters, which we can't guarantee are actually covering all of the access points. So, yeah, I mean, but it's interesting that Razer tried this, and you know what? Just in the context of Razer shows a lot of stuff at CES and never comes out with it. And I think a lot of people's reaction to this Zephyr was like, wow, they actually did it. They came out with it. Good for them. And these have been selling out like crazy. Like they have different drops of them, and people have been selling them on eBay for ridiculous amounts of money. And my 2 cents on this is like, I was really excited about this when I first heard about it, not because it was Razer, but because I thought it would be more comfortable with the fans. But and I like the idea of them seeing my lips, but it's not. If it looked comfortable to you when I was wearing it, it's over the long haul. It's not comfortable. It's not comfortable enough to be wearing it all day.
And I believe that that Andrew spent a lot of time wearing it. There's probably content
he did.
out there about it.
Yes, we have a review of it, and again, he has the same. I mean, his big issue, and like I said, I haven't worn this for hours at a time, was he was actually getting it was hurting the top of his nose a bit. I tried this on my 9-year-old son today. Took some pictures, and he got a little red mark on his nose for a few minutes. I am really looking forward, though, to having to putting up my profile picture with this on. If I could wear this plus those no HTC glasses or whatever, I'd be so golden. In terms of just having a cyborg look. I wish I had these for Halloween. I totally would have gone trick-or-treating in them.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that combined with the Vive fly glasses would be fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I would like to wear them together. I would like to wear them together. Like I had high hopes. I mean, I think I like the idea of it. I really do. And I'd like to see places keep innovating and trying stuff because, not everyone is going to want to wear a mask. Not everyone's going to want to wear a mask, particularly when they don't have to. But I think that you're going to see some portion of the public continue to wear masks protectively when they go out to the store or other places where they're around strangers in public.
Yeah, for sure. The one that I think we talked about it recently. The one that I'm interested in seeing in action is the Atmos. It's been pending a long time because we had them on the show at CES 2020 and it's still in pre-order mode right now, which it was when I wrote the summary, which published April 9th, 2020, which is disappointing. I would love to see this thing in action. I'm going to try and contact them. If I can get my hands on one, I'll write a review in our format and in your format.
I mean, I there's a lot of really neat attempts at it, and I think the number one thing that people would like to see from their mask is transparency, right? I mean, it would be nice if they.
This one's fascinatingly completely open, with an air thing that happens across the PLUGHITZlive.com/CES/2020. Go there. You'll see the interview and you'll see the actual hardware. And there's a whole explanation on how it works. It is fascinating. I want to try one because I want people to look and go, what in the hell is that?
Yeah, I mean... For sure, a lot of people will say that if you wear this.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
and what's the retail on that guy?
It's not that expensive. If you can get it in stock, it's only $99. It's the cost of the filters that will get you over time. But it is a very it comes boxed up nicely. It definitely feels like a premium Razer product. Okay. It's just the concept of it's a little heavy and rubbery for my taste. Oh, also it comes with this little thing. Which you spray on to keep the lip part from fogging up.
Okay.
This defogger stuff.
Got it.
But
interesting.
Maybe I'll try maybe I'll try it again for a longer period of time. I think the lack of peripheral vision was enough for me not to not to wear it to
Yeah.
work.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
I have no shame. I would be caught on the subway or caught in my job like this. I have no shame about that. I would
oh, I
totally
know you would.
do
And I and I would be excited to be the one out there looking looking crazy with the crazy steampunk mask all the time.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
is why I'm watching the video play over here, which is why I keep pointing over here. Which is why I want to see this thing in action because it's wild.
yeah,
I do
innovate.
not
What I really
mind
want is just a
looking
spacesuit.
crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You got to watch out for those hazmat suits, though. Dwight Schrute went and put a pair of scissors through them. Anyway, as per usual, Avram, thank you. This is an interesting product that not everybody can get their hands on because they're having, like you said, they're selling out almost as quickly as they can drop them. So I appreciate you showing it off. It's a shame that it's not the exciting product that we had hoped, but it is definitely the goofy product that I had hoped. So there's definitely that. And as always, I look forward to what we talk about next. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Piltch Point with Avram Piltch. If you did, please subscribe to our channel, and of course hit the notification bell since subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. And if you've got topics you'd like us to discuss in the future, we'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you don't want to follow us on YouTube, that's okay. There's a lot of other ways that you can follow our content. You can find all of that by going to plughitslive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all the different ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.